You've probably met her, the woman who made you feel like you were finally enough. Until every moment with her became a test you couldn't pass. At first, it felt perfect. She admired your ambition. She laughed at your jokes. She made you feel seen, maybe for the first time in your life. But somewhere along the way, something shifted. You started doubting yourself, losing sleep, losing focus, losing control. And you still can't explain how she did it. Here's the truth most men never see until it's too late. There are 8 types of women built to make men chase, overgive, and eventually break. They don't ruin you overnight. They do it slowly, softly, until you forget who you were before them. In this series, I'll walk you through every one of them, what they look like, how they think, and how to recognize the danger before it begins. Because there's something no one tells men about relationships. Manipulation rarely looks like manipulation. It looks like affection. It looks like vulnerability. It looks like someone who just needs a little help. That's how you get hooked. Not through deceit, but through empathy. And the more you care, the deeper she goes. This video isn't about women versus men. It's about seeing the invisible patterns that keep men stuck in emotional quicksand. Because once you understand what's really happening, you can't be played again. If you're ready to see what most men never notice, hit like, subscribe, and keep watching. You're about to gain clarity that changes everything, and I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you think manipulation always starts with intention, or can it be unconscious? Let's start with the first type of woman, the one who hides her control behind something every man misunderstands as love. 1. The spendthrift. She doesn't love you. She loves the feeling of spending your money. You'll meet her when you're doing well enough to stand on your own feet but still trying to build something solid. She'll appear fascinated by your drive, your plans, your ambition. You'll feel proud to show her your progress, the dinners, the trips, the thoughtful surprises. But soon you'll notice a subtle pattern. Her affection grows only when you're spending. Every moment of connection comes with a price tag, and if you stop paying, emotionally or financially, that warmth starts to fade. The spendthrift woman speaks the language of money as a tool of validation. In her mind, love is not a bond. It's a transaction, one that must constantly prove itself through gifts, indulgence, and upgrades. She doesn't say, "I care for you." She says, "If you cared, you would." And each time you comply, you step deeper into her design, a cycle of guilt and reward that makes you equate generosity with worth. At first, you tell yourself it's normal. You want to make her happy. You want to provide. But giving becomes expectation. Expectation becomes pressure. And pressure becomes resentment. She won't stop. Because it's never about the object. It's about control. The spendthrift tests your limits to measure your devotion. Every time you say yes, you teach her how far she can push. You'll start to feel it. That silent dread when her name lights up your phone. Knowing it means another little thing she really needs. Your love becomes a financial treadmill. You run, you pay, but you never move forward. Here's the truth most men learn too late. A woman who only knows how to receive will never know how to value. She doesn't want a partner. She wants an ATM with emotions. And when the account runs dry, financially or emotionally, she'll simply move on to the next source of affection. When a woman's love depends on what you give instead of who you are, you're not in love. You're being drained, slowly, quietly, completely. 2. The liar. Every lie, no matter how small, leaves a scar. And the worst kind of liar isn't the one who invents stories. It's the one who bends reality just enough to make you question your own. At first, she seems honest. She shares small confessions to appear transparent. Stories about her past, her crazy ex, her struggles, her healing. But soon you'll start to notice details that don't align. Timelines shift, stories change, contradictions slip through the cracks. And when you point them out, she laughs, accuses you of overthinking, or worse, makes you feel guilty for even noticing. That's how the trust assassin operates. She doesn't destroy your faith in her. She destroys your faith in yourself. You start wondering if you're too sensitive, too paranoid, too demanding. Meanwhile, she hides behind charm and emotional appeal, mastering the art of the half-truth. She'll tell you just enough to sound sincere, but never enough to give you clarity. Because clarity removes her control. A relationship built on half-truths becomes a battlefield of confusion. You'll start checking her words against her actions, her phone against her promises. And every time you confront her, she'll shift the spotlight. Suddenly, it's your fault for not trusting her. You'll apologize, not because you're wrong, but because you're tired. That's how lies work. They don't explode, they erode. Until one day you can't tell what's real anymore, and it's already too late. The liar thrives in your uncertainty. She knows that as long as you're busy doubting yourself, you'll never question her. She doesn't crave love. She craves control over your perception. If you ever find yourself rewriting your own memories to make her story make sense, stop. Truth doesn't need your defense. A woman who values honesty will never make you feel insane for asking for it. If you start doubting your memory more than her story, walk away. Because when trust dies, love doesn't die with it. It transforms into fear. And living in fear of the person you love isn't romance. It's emotional suicide. 3. The chronic flirt. She walks into a room and instantly the energy shifts. The laughter gets louder. The eyes follow her. She glows brighter under attention. You think it's charm at first, but soon you realize she's not connecting with people. She's collecting reactions. A woman addicted to attention doesn't flirt because she wants others. She flirts because she needs to feel wanted. Every smile she gets is a hit of reassurance, a drop of dopamine that tells her she's still desirable. And when you're the man in her life, you're not her partner. You're her anchor of supply. She'll tell you, "I'm just friendly." But deep down, she knows the power it gives her. The glances, the compliments, the lingering DMs. They keep her ego inflated. It's not about betrayal, it's about validation. She bets your peace of mind against her need to feel wanted. And the longer you stay, the more you lose. 4. The materialistic woman. With her, love is never about connection. It's about conversion. Every conversation, every gesture, every moment eventually circles back to one thing: value. Not emotional value, but material worth. She doesn't ask how your day was. She asks how much your day made. At first, you'll mistake it for ambition. You'll admire how she talks about standards, stability, and security. It sounds mature, doesn't it? Until you realize every one of those words is just another way of saying money. To her, affection is a currency, and relationships are marketplaces. You pay in effort, time, and gifts. She repays you in attention, intimacy, and temporary warmth. It's a trade, not a bond. The danger isn't her greed. It's her emptiness. She measures love in possessions because she's never felt anything deeper. When she says, "I just want to feel safe," what she really means is, "I want guarantees." And in her world, guarantees are bought, not built. When you give, she glows. When you pause, she turns cold. Her moods rise and fall with your generosity. You'll notice it in the silence that follows a gift, that hollow quiet where gratitude should be. You'll feel it in how your efforts are received not with love, but with expectation. At first, giving feels good. It feeds your instinct to provide. But one day you'll wake up and realize you haven't been giving out of love anymore. You've been paying rent for the illusion of affection. Here's the truth. You can buy a moment of attention, but you can't buy genuine connection. And the moment the money stops flowing, the affection fades like it was never real. She doesn't love you. She loves what you represent. Security, status, proof that she's worth something. When a woman values things over people, she will eventually trade you for a better offer. Because in her world, love isn't sacred. It's negotiable. And you're just the current bid. The awakening comes when you finally stop trying to prove your worth through what you can give. Because real love doesn't come with receipts. It comes with respect. 5. The what's mine is mine. Type, you'll recognize her by how quickly everything becomes about her. Her needs, her comfort, her timing, her plans. She'll call it self-love. She'll call it independence. But underneath that language is something colder. Selfishness disguised as empowerment. At first, it feels refreshing. She seems confident, assertive, strong. She knows what she wants, or at least that's what you think. But once you get close, you'll notice the pattern. Her confidence doesn't create balance. It creates territory. Every part of your relationship exists to serve her comfort zone. She believes in equality, as long as she's winning. She'll expect your time, your effort, your loyalty, your patience. But when it's her turn to reciprocate, she'll suddenly become too tired, too busy, or not good at expressing emotions. You'll start giving more just to keep the peace. You'll think, maybe this is just how relationships work. But that's the trap. Without realizing it, you'll find yourself in a one-way relationship where compromise only flows in one direction. If you ever ask for something back, attention, empathy, or even basic respect, she'll twist it into selfishness on your part. She'll say, "Why can't you just support me?" All while ignoring how much you've already given. The more you give, the more invisible you become. Your kindness doesn't inspire her. It enables her. You'll start walking on eggshells, trying not to disturb her comfort. You'll apologize for being tired. You'll justify her distance. You'll tell yourself that strong women need space. But deep down, you'll feel the truth. You're disappearing. Love cannot survive when one person is always taking and never giving. It suffocates under imbalance. And with her, imbalance isn't a flaw. It's the foundation. She doesn't want partnership. She wants submission disguised as devotion. And here's the painful irony. She'll tell you that she just wants to feel safe in love, but she'll never realize that her version of safety requires you to lose yourself. When you finally stop feeding her sense of entitlement, she'll call you selfish. Let her. Because in reality, you've just remembered how to protect your own peace. Love isn't meant to drain you. It's meant to ground you. If being with her means losing your balance, your boundaries, and your identity, then you're not in a relationship. You're in servitude. And the only way to heal from that kind of love is to leave it behind. 6th, the insecure woman. At first, her need for reassurance feels innocent, even sweet. She wants to know where you are, who you're with, what you're doing. You tell yourself, it's because she cares. But soon you'll see it for what it is. Not curiosity, control. Every question hides a fear. Every fear becomes a rule. And every rule quietly reshapes your life. The insecure woman doesn't build walls to keep others out. She builds cages to keep you in. Her mind is a battlefield of comparisons. Every woman she sees is a threat. Every compliment you give becomes an act of betrayal. You'll start defending yourself for things you've never done, apologizing for feelings you never had, explaining your tone, your texts, your delays, just to keep her calm. She'll say, "I just need to feel secure." But what she really means is, "I need you to shrink so I can breathe." Her love comes with surveillance. She'll scroll through your phone. She'll read your comments. She'll analyze your silence. And when you reassure her, she'll calm down, but only for a moment. Because insecurity doesn't heal through comfort. It resets. She doesn't seek truth. She seeks control over her anxiety. And your loyalty becomes her medicine. But you can't medicate fear with love. You can't fix a mind that feeds on doubt. You'll feel it. The air around you growing heavy with her suspicion. You'll hesitate before answering a message, not because you're hiding something, but because you know she'll read into it. Little by little, your world will shrink until your only goal is to keep her calm. That's not love. That's captivity. Here's the truth no one tells you. You can't fix someone's insecurity by proving your innocence, because the problem isn't your actions, it's her fear. And no amount of loyalty can heal a wound she keeps reopening. You'll try to save her. You'll think your love can be her anchor. But she'll pull you deeper into her storm until you can't tell where your peace ends and her panic begins. When love becomes a constant defense, you're no longer in a relationship. You're serving a sentence. And the only way out is to stop apologizing for things you didn't do and start reclaiming your peace. 7th, the narcissist. At first, she'll make you feel like the most wanted man on earth. She'll mirror your energy, your humor, your interests. It feels like she gets you, like she was built just for you. That's the bait. Narcissists don't fall in love with people. They fall in love with attention. And you, my friend, become her favorite mirror. She feeds on admiration the way lungs feed on air. She needs to be seen, praised, validated, constantly. But the moment your focus shifts from her, she withers and attacks. You'll notice it slowly. Her compliments will turn into criticism, her warmth into cold dismissal. And your confidence? It'll start to fade because she'll make you question everything about yourself. She'll gaslight you, subtly at first. You'll start wondering if you're overreacting. You'll replay conversations in your head, trying to understand how you became the villain in her story. That's the trap. Narcissists create chaos, then make you apologize for it. They don't seek peace, they seek control. The most dangerous part? They'll convince you that their approval is the prize. That if you can just be better, more patient, more understanding, they'll finally love you again. But they never will. Because they can't. They don't see partners. They see extensions of themselves. You exist to make them feel powerful. Once you stop doing that, you become disposable. When she leaves, you'll feel broken. But you won't miss her. You'll miss the version of yourself you were trying to become. The one you hoped she'd finally love. And that's the cruelest part of loving a narcissist. They don't just take your time or your trust. They take your identity. But once you wake up, you'll realize something beautiful. You never needed her validation. You just needed to remember who you were before she convinced you that you weren't enough. Healing isn't about revenge. It's about rebuilding your reflection, this time without her shadow in it. 8. The I'm not ready woman. She'll tell you from the start, I'm not ready for anything serious. You'll think she's just scared. You'll think maybe with time you can change her mind. You won't. Because the not ready woman isn't confused. She's comfortable. She wants all the benefits of love without the responsibility that comes with it. She'll take your time, your attention, your energy, but never call it commitment. You'll be her emotional home, but she'll still keep her doors open for someone else. You'll talk every day. You'll laugh together. You'll share secrets and dreams. But the moment you ask, what are we? She'll pull away, say you're moving too fast. And that's when it hits you. You've been in a relationship that doesn't exist. She'll cry when you try to leave, swear she cares, and promise she just needs time. But her words are bandages, meant to keep you from walking away while she figures herself out. She'll say, you deserve better. And she'll be right. The truth is, she's not waiting for the right time. She's waiting for the right feeling. And that feeling will probably come when someone else makes her feel what you already did. That's the heartbreak. You'll give her everything she'll one day give to another man. But don't hate her. Pity her. Because she's the kind of woman who mistakes freedom for healing and fear for standards. One day, she'll realize she pushed away the man who was willing to build with her, just to chase the thrill of what might be. But by then, you'll be gone. Not bitter, just wiser. Some lessons come wrapped in heartbreak, but they leave behind something precious. Clarity. The final message. The woman who heals you. Not every woman is meant to hurt you. Some exist to show you what real peace feels like. She doesn't compete, manipulate, or confuse you. She doesn't test your loyalty because she's too busy matching it. She doesn't need you to fix her. She's already done the work. You'll know her by the quiet, the calm in her energy, The way your mind stops racing when she's near. She won't make you chase, because she's walking beside you. She'll love you without conditions. Not because she's perfect, but because she values connection more than control. With her, you won't feel like you're losing yourself. You'll feel like you're finding yourself again. She'll see your strength, but she'll also honor your softness. Because to her, masculinity isn't about dominance. It's about presence. That's the kind of woman who makes you believe in love again. Not because she changes you, but because she reminds you of the man you were always meant to be. So remember this. Don't chase the woman who excites your chaos. Choose the one who calms it. Because in the end, it's not the most beautiful woman who wins your heart. It's the one who gives your soul a place to rest.